Emma lived a quiet life. The old lighthouse was her home. It stood tall against the endless sky. She helped her father run the small museum there. Tourists came and went like the tides. But Emma's world remained small and safe. The rhythmic sweep of the light was a comfort. It was a steady pulse in her peaceful existence. She found solace in the familiar sounds of the sea. The waves whispered stories only she seemed to understand. Her days were predictable, a gentle rhythm she had grown accustomed to, a quiet haven after the storm of loss. She loved books more than almost anything. Their pages held adventures she didn't seek in life. Stories were her companions. Her mother had loved books too. After her mother passed away, Emma held on to those shared memories tightly. Her bond with her father grew stronger. He was a man of few words, like the lighthouse itself. He understood her need for quiet. They shared a silent language of grief and love. He knew her heart was fragile, carefully guarded. He watched over her, just as he watched over the light. One summer, a man named Leo arrived. He came from the bustling city. He was a travel photographer. His camera was always ready. He came to capture the town's simple beauty. He wanted pictures of the old lighthouse, the weathered docks. He sought the soul of the small coastal town. Leo carried an energy that was new to this quiet place. His eyes saw the world in frames and light. He was looking for something special, a story to tell through his lens. He didn't know his own story was about to change. Their first meetings were not easy. Emma found Leo too forward, too loud. He asked many questions. His city ways felt intrusive in her sheltered world. She preferred the company of her books and the sea. Leo found Emma distant, almost cold. He was used to friendly faces, open conversations. Her reserve was a puzzle he couldn't quite solve. He saw a sadness in her eyes. She saw a restlessness in his. They were two different worlds colliding, like waves crashing against the steadfast rocks of the shore. They kept meeting by chance. It seemed fate had a plan. Sometimes at the lighthouse as Leo scouted for the perfect shot. Sometimes in the small town, at the local market or the quiet cafe. Each encounter was brief, a little awkward, yet something unspoken passed between them. He'd offer a hesitant smile. She might offer a quiet nod. The town wasn't big enough to avoid each other for long. The salt-laced air seemed to carry their paths toward one another. It was as if the old stones of the lighthouse and the ancient whispers of the wind were conspiring. Slowly they started to talk, not just polite greetings but real conversations. He asked about the lighthouse's history. She asked about his photographs. They found common ground in unexpected places. He admired her deep connection to the place. She began to see the kindness beneath his confident exterior. Shared moments like watching a sunset paint the sky began to soften the edges. He told her about the vibrant chaos of the city. She described the peaceful rhythm of the coast. They were learning to read each other like a favorite, well-worn book. Emma began to open up. She spoke of her mother. She shared her deep fear of losing people she loved. It was a raw wound, still tender. The lighthouse, a symbol of constancy, was also a reminder of what could be lost. She explained how her quiet life was a shield. It protected her heart from further pain. Leo listened patiently, his gaze gentle. He didn't interrupt, didn't offer easy platitudes. He simply heard her, and in his listening, she felt a flicker of courage to share more of her guarded self. Leo in turn shared his own story. He talked about his past, his family. He explained why he found it hard to trust in love. Perhaps it was a broken promise from long ago, or watching others navigate the complexities of relationships. The constant travel, the fleeting connections of his job made it difficult to build something lasting. He confessed that his camera often felt like a barrier, a way to observe life without fully participating. Emma listened, understanding that his boldness was perhaps a different kind of shield. They were both afraid, in their own ways. Beneath the same stars that blanketed the sea each night, they fell in love. It happened softly, like the tide coming in. Their conversations grew longer, deeper. Laughter began to replace the early tension. He taught her a little about photography. She showed him her favorite hidden spots along the coast. They walked on the beach, their footprints mingling in the sand. The lighthouse beam swept over them, a silent witness to their growing affection. His hand found hers, a simple touch that spoke volumes. Her heart, once so carefully guarded, started to open like a flower to the sun. Then, the news arrived. It came like an unexpected storm. Leo received a job offer. It was a dream opportunity for a photographer like him, a chance to travel the world, to capture incredible images. But the job was far away, miles and miles from Emma and the little lighthouse town. The joy on his face was quickly shadowed by a deep conflict. He looked at Emma, and the choice became incredibly hard. The world he had always chased was calling him, but now, leaving meant leaving a part of his heart behind. Leo made a difficult decision. He decided to leave. He believed it was the best thing for Emma. He saw her fear of loss, her need for stability. He thought he couldn't give her that. He was a wanderer, his path always uncertain. "You deserve someone who can stay," he told her, his voice heavy with unspoken pain. He thought he was protecting her from future heartbreak. He packed his bags, his camera feeling heavier than ever. The farewell was quiet, filled with the words they couldn't bring themselves to say. He left, chasing a dream, but leaving another one behind. Emma watched him go. Her heart ached with a familiar sorrow, yet this was different. The quiet of the lighthouse returned, but it felt emptier now. The rhythmic sweep of the light seemed to mock her. Each wave that crashed on the shore sounded like a goodbye. She walked the paths they had walked together, the memories clinging to her like the sea mist. The books on her shelves offered little comfort at first. The stars they had watched together seemed distant and cold. Sadness was a heavy cloak, but she knew, deep down, she had to find her own light again. Time, like the tide, moved forward. Emma began to heal. She started to explore the world with new eyes. Inspired by Leo, she picked up an old camera her father had. She began to capture the beauty around her, the way the light hit the waves, the expressions on the faces of the townspeople. She found a new voice in photography. She also started writing, pouring her thoughts and feelings onto paper. Her stories were filled with the sea, with light, and with the quiet strength she was discovering within herself. She was learning to love again, starting with herself and the world around her. Her father watched her transformation with quiet pride. He saw a new resilience in her, a spark that had been rekindled. Her photographs were beautiful, her writing heartfelt. She even started sharing her work with others, a small online blog that gained a gentle following. The Lighthouse Museum felt brighter, enlivened by her newfound passions. She was no longer just the quiet girl in the shadow of the lighthouse. She was becoming Emma, the artist, the storyteller. The fear of loss was still there, but it no longer defined her. Hope had found a place to bloom. One evening, as the first stars began to appear in the twilight sky, a familiar figure walked up the path to the lighthouse. It was Leo. He looked different, older perhaps, his eyes holding a new understanding. He had traveled, he had seen the world, but something had been missing. He realized that the dream job wasn't enough without someone to share the journey with. He had learned that home wasn't just a place, but a feeling, a connection. He had kept one of her letters, a small folded piece of paper that spoke of her quiet strength. He stood before Emma, his heart open. "I was wrong," he said, his voice earnest. "I thought I was protecting you, but I was just running from what truly mattered." He told her he wanted to build a future with her, right there, or anywhere she wanted to be. He wanted to follow their dreams together. He spoke of shared adventures, of quiet moments, of a love that could weather any storm. Emma listened, her heart beating a hopeful rhythm. Beneath the vast expanse of the same stars that had witnessed their beginning, she saw the promise of a new dawn in his eyes.